Ok, yo tout le monde. J'espère que vous allez toutes et tous bien. Aujourd'hui, on continue les chroniques de mon huc. Chronique tribale de Kinich. Alors attendez, parce que du coup j'ai rien préparé à chaque fois, hein. Ça c'est pour demain. Ça c'est quoi? Ça c'est les trucs d'histoire. C'est quoi ça? Quête lambda. Secours. Meeting le 27 août. Ah, ça je vais mettre à la poubelle. J'avais pas fait de feuilles pour les chroniques. Ça paraît bizarre. Ah, peut-être ça, les World Quest. C'est pas une World Quest en vrai. Hmm. Bref, FF. J'arrive pas à retrouver. Oh, c'est pas grave. En tout cas, yo à toutes et tous. Bon, du coup, oui. Aujourd'hui, on va faire un stream un petit peu plus long. On va faire du coup la chronique tribale de Kinich, qui est celle-ci, le Mnemnofeu de Yumpanki, qu'on avait fait l'acte 1 et 2 enfin très rapidement. Et suite à ça, on ira faire, enfin on ira sur Enkanomiya et continue l'acte 3 du coup avec Luofu et Ulai. Je ne saurais dire. Ce genre de truc, on dirait tellement un... Ouais, voilà. Un truc quotidien. En tout cas, n'hésitez pas à me le dire si jamais c'est pas assez fort ou trop fort. Avant, j'ai monté mon son. Attendez. Petit plaisir quand même. Musique qui est tellement magnifique sur celui-là. Ah oui, du coup, j'ai bien farm hein, pour Kinich. Hein. Genre son épée niveau 80 sur 90. 90 d'ailleurs. Parce qu'il y avait plus de sous. J'ai essayé de bien farmer la thune. Mais on a le time. Bon ça du coup c'est vendredi. On est mis. Ouais ça malheureusement je peux pas. Je peux pas le faire encore. Mais quand on aura fini du coup sa chronique tribale, je peux le mettre le niveau 90. Et ça c'est beau. Allez on va voir Jean-Michel Kinich. On prépare aussi les photos. Si photo il y a. Genre là. Oh, franchement je le trouve vraiment cool. Hein. Il y en a qui pleurent parce que oui ils auraient pas cru à ça mais... Non trop stylé. C'est vraiment les mêmes yeux que Aventurine, à peu près, hein, dans quel style.
I'll get straight to the point.
Ah,
I hear you accepted a proposal from Elder Trinidad.
Oh, the Turnfire Knight, you mean. You were still his first choice. It's just. Oh, jeez. It's not what it.
Chill, it's cool. I only mention it because there's something you should know. And I suspect Elder Trinidad hasn't been completely forthcoming with you. His true intention is to resolve the Mountain King problem once and for all.
et de résoudre le problème du roi de la montagne une bonne fois pour toutes, c'est-à-dire... Il veut le tuer, c'est ça? Il veut abattre l'ennemi.
Once and for all? You mean this'll be the last Turnfire night ever?
That's right. He wants to use you to send the Mountain King to the Night Kingdom.
To the Night Kingdom? You mean...
To his death.
Ouais, donc c'est le pauvre.
Whoa, 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 are you serious right now? You shouldn't go blurting out accusations like that. It could get you in trouble.
Too blunt? Okay. I'll phrase it more gently. There is potentially a possibility that Elder Trinidad may be hoping that during the
Oh, c'est un peu le même direct là. Hein.
You kill the Mountain King dead.
But that's ridiculous. He told us the Mountain King is a living symbol of your
And that glory comes at a price.
Oh, that's right. The Mountain King is a living... yes.
Nana n'était pas la première.
Mm-hmm. She likely won't be the last to lose her life either.
Still, is killing the Mountain King really the only way?
The Mountain King is a unique case when it comes to abyssal contamination. It's eaten away at him for so long that it has consumed him entirely, and the damage is irreversible. That evil power has both driven him insane and kept him alive over the centuries. So, to look at it one way, once it's completely purged from his body, the Mountain King, in past ceremonies we've only purged around half of the abyssal power. This was to strike a balance, to keep him alive.
Ah, lui, bah tout absorbé du coup.
Also keep him
Aïe
safe.
aïe.
Trinidad didn't say anything about how much power he wanted us to purge, but he did say there were some more details to go over before the ceremony.
C'est quand même incroyable qu'ils ont fait beaucoup de musique pour chaque tribu. Genre chacun, quand tu vas dans leur domaine, ils ont leur petit mood hawaïen, là très jovial. J'ai vraiment hâte de la suite quand même. Hein. Parce que je pense déjà les maîtres nocturnes, ça va être une musique un peu plus ténébreuse, je pense. Ensuite, il y a quoi? Il y a Shaska. Shaska, c'est un peu les fleurs plumes, donc ça va peut-être représenter la liberté, donc quelque chose de plus enjoué. Et le collectif avec la demoiselle Yin-san. Ça, je sais pas.
And it
Ouais, c'est
sounds like
FF.
you'll know for sure soon enough.
If he really asks us to kill the Mountain King, what should we do?
I know this must come as quite a shock, so I suggest you act like you didn't hear anything for now. But would you have time to visit the chief after your meeting with I'd like to make a deal with you.
What kind of deal?
One that comes at a very reasonable price. I'm sure you have plenty. Good.
Good. La transaction de Kinich. Bon, c'est sûr que même si on arriverait à le tuer, le boss il sera toujours là. Hein. Mais je sais pas. En fait, je pense que c'est trop radical pour qu'il puisse le tuer. Bien qu'à cause de ça, ça fait perdre des vies. Mais non, je sais pas, je pense qu'ils vont le réussir à le remettre dans son état normal. Il croit mort. Ah. Attends, what? Comment j'ai fait une photo si rapide? Ah bah oui, j'ai fait W. J'ai vraiment fait une photo.
Ah, mighty Outlanders.
It was...
Glad to hear it. Things are progressing very smoothly on my end. Many of the elders have heard of your heroic deeds, including the chief. There are still those who insist that the ceremony should be performed by the bearer of the Malipo name. But they're just stuck in the past. We need to move with the times.
Bah non. Déjà par exemple cette phrase là, Genre, certains veulent que ce soit le nom du Mnemnofeu Malipo, donc Kinich, qui soit le porteur, mais qui sont complètement coincés dans le passé, ça me trigger. Ça me trigger, ça me donne juste envie de lui mettre 2 claques dans la bouche et de lui filer au roi de la montagne en tant que nourriture. Genre les gens, ils font... Comment dire? C'est pas qu'ils sont coincés dans le passé, c'est juste que c'est une tradition, une culture et que le Mamlipo, le Mnemnofeu, c'est un rapport avec le guerrier des êtres des canopées, le tout premier là.
Exactly. So, now, it's time for us to discuss the finer details of the ceremony. We covered the fire lighting part of the proceedings yesterday.
Purification du remonté.
It's quite simple. You just need to use the sacred flame. We've done it plenty of times before, and it's always very routine.
Il a l'air tellement fatigué.
One point I'd like to stress, though, is that you need to burn away as much of the abyssal energy as you possibly can. The more we dispel, the longer the Mountain King will remain asleep.
Asleep, huh?
Precisely. In previous years, the Flame Bearer has often been unable to dispel a sufficient amount of abyssal energy. That's the only reason why we have to perform the ceremony on a regular... But I understand that you have a lot of experience fighting against the Abyss, and you seem to wield the sacred flame quite effortlessly yesterday. With your help, I'm optimistic this time we can dispel all the remaining abyssal energy from the Mountain King's body, freeing us from this ever-looming threat for many years to come.
Traveler?
So this doesn't faze you at all, huh? You clearly have a lot of confidence. If that's all you really need to know, the ceremony's in 3 days. I'll come and fetch you. In the meantime, feel free to take a look around our settlement. It would mean a lot. And if you wouldn't mind helping them out with a few errands here and there.
So now we have extra errands to run? Maybe we should add a little...
Just a humble suggestion, that's all. It will help you gain the respect of... I'll be sticking around for the
Moi,
next
tant que je les aide et que ma réputation augmente, moi c'est bon. Parce que c'est la dernière tribu à m'augmenter, le reste ils sont déjà niveau 4. Hey, Oh mais quelle musique de fou! Hey, C'est le yaoi, ça y est. Do it.
Here. I can tell. It's written on your faces.
Is that the traveler in Paimon? Forgive me for not being there to welcome you.
Hello, Chief Waina.
I only heard the news from Trinidad yesterday, so I asked Kinich to invite you over for a quick... I believe Kinich has already filled you in, so I'll get straight to the point. However, I would like to request that you take steps to ensure the Mountain Kings... Every child of our tribe grows up hearing the tales of our heroes. From Yupanqui, the Firebringer, to Burkina and the Mountain King who fought against the Abyss.
Yumpaki, le porteur du feu, à Burkina, et le roi de la montagne qui ont combattu. Burkina, ça me dit rien. Ça, mais j'arrive pas à retrouver les feuilles. De toute façon, il y en a 12 000 des feuilles. Ah, attendez. Non, ça, on s'en fout. Ça, on s'en fout. Non, ça, cette feuille, c'est pour les trucs endommagés. Oh, je sais plus. Attends, c'est vrai, en regardant mes feuilles là, la prochaine World Quest avec Xbalanque et Sage de la Flamme enflammée, là on va directement aller à Oshkanatlan avec le roi Python. peut être intéressant.
To kill the Mountain King would be to destroy our spirit. Nana's death was a great tragedy, and I do not blame Trinidad for the actions he has taken. Nevertheless, I cannot... My honored guests, please give this matter your serious consideration. Perhaps there is, but despite all our attempts to contain the situation over the years, we've not found it.
Ah.
Right
Mais
now,
allons dans une autre tribu ce
I'd like to
soir.
hear where you stand on this matter. Though I sense that your mind is not yet made up, I'm still comforted.
So, Kinich, earlier you were...
Let's walk and talk. I'll show you around the tribe.
That works too. Paimon needs to get some air out.
Tit, 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 tit.
Kinich, Paimon finally understands why you turned Trinidad down. You knew what he was planning, didn't you? That's why you didn't want to be the flame bearer this time, because it's a double-edged sword. The whole Mora thing was just a sneaky excuse.
Ah, j'aurais bien voulu que ça l'encre différent. Hein. Pour vraiment avoir les 5.
Double-edged sword is right. But my response wasn't merely an excuse. To solve this exceptional problem, I'm working on it.
Really? Well, come on then.
In a moment. Didn't you have a...
Oh, yeah. What was it again? Oh, right. We need to talk about Ajaw. He's completely...
I agree that he has a problem. He needs disciplining, so I hired him a teacher.
What?
You got him a teacher? Oh, Paimon. Anyway, moving on. When we ran into Ajaw, he said you two were investigating some abyss thing together.
Yes, that's the angle I've been working on. I'm a Saurian hunter, but I occasionally hunt the abyss too. One time I was pursuing some purple demonic dogs when I
Je poursuis des
accidentally
molosses
entered a hidden
démoniaques
space.
violets.
I did some research after the fact. Apparently they're known as beastly rifts, and there are many of them of all different sizes.
Mhm.
So, if we can locate one of these beastly rifts, clear the monsters out, and move the Mountain King inside, he'd be...
Whoa. That sounds kind of crazy.
It's not without its risks, of course. There's a lot of unknowns in the equation. For instance, for all we know, a prolonged period inside the rift. Still, we desperately need something like this, even just as a temporary measure. You've seen the conflict, the issue. The chief is adamant about keeping the Mountain King alive. Whatever happens.
Paimon can understand. It's less about the Mountain King and more about preserving your culture and heritage.
Yes, but on the flip side, you've got people like Elder Trinidad. Who's more concerned about protecting. He has every right to take that view. It's one thing to try and preserve the last remnants of a glorious past. No one can seriously tell them that's a fair trade.
You're right. There's no easy answers here. Let's leave that to one side, because at least in our experience, the dogs open the rifts when they want to attack.
I think I know a way. You have any better ideas?
Not at the moment, but it just feels like using the power of the After all, the abyss is what turned the Mountain King into a monster in the first place. People are gonna think you've lost your marbles.
If it doesn't end well, then that's the price we pay. Everything in the world comes at a price. Even when Yupanqui, the Firebringer, stole the Turnfire, it cost him dearly. The Mountain King's erratic outbursts have brought tensions within the tribe to a boiling point. Unless this gets resolved quickly, everyone will be stuck in a stalemate.
All right. So what's this deal you wanted to make with us? We're hardly experts.
All I need you to do is keep people away from me. I'm getting harassed on a daily basis by people trying to convince me to be the flame bearer. I can't afford to if you help me out.
Ooh, what kind of gift?
Something well worth your while, I'd say.
Quelque chose digne de votre temps et de votre énergie.
Just keep doing what you've been doing. Integrate yourself with the tribespeople. So
Ça rend beau
everyone
même
comes
la
to
nuit
terms with
ici.
the
Hein.
fact that we have a new flame bearer.
Je pense que parmi les trois, je pense que c'est peut-être ma préférée. Parce que c'est très aéré, très simple et à la fois très beau. Enfin, le peuple des sources, c'est très beau aussi, mais trop grand. Et le côté rocheux montagnard merde. De Kachina, là, je suis pas très fan. Même si la musique est banger hein, là-bas.
That way,
Y a
I
nul
won't have an
doute.
endless stream of people coming to beg me to. Then, when the day of the ceremony comes, we'll move the Mountain King.
Bill sounds pretty crazy. Even if it works, what if neither Chief Wina nor...
At least the two of them would finally be on the same side of the issue, leaving only me on the opposing side. The tribe needs leaders like them far more than a Saurian hunter for hire like me. Can I take that?
For sure. And who knows? Maybe we'll come up with an even better solution to all of this in the next couple of days.
Great. Well, for the next couple of days, please spend some time among the tribe and lend a hand wherever you can. I'm sure everyone will be swept off their feet when they meet our new flame bearer. Good luck to us both.
Rendez-vous dans la tribu le lendemain, entre 8 et 12. La balade des gens heureux.
Okay, task for the day. Meet the tribe's people and take some heat.
Oni, how can you call the Mountain King a monster?
Because he hurt a lot of people. And look what happened to Nana.
Non.
Purpose? The Mountain King is sick, that's all.
That's true. But the fact remains that he's now a threat to all of us.
How can you be so harsh to someone who's sick? If you don't take back what you just said, I don't...
Toba, Kuni, what's wrong?
Uni's saying nasty things about the Mountain King. It's not right. He's...
Once upon a time, maybe. But not anymore.
Yesterday, maybe, but not anymore.
Toba? Fine. I guess my dad is right. Things change. As of today, our friendship is over. Oh, come on. Cut it out, you two. We have some great news to tell you. The Traveler is gonna be the flame bearer for the next Turnfire night. He's gonna do a beautiful ceremony and cure the Mountain King.
What? Really?
So that's what my dad wanted to talk to you about? To be fair, from what we saw the other day, you are pretty good at climbing cliffs. Probably just as...
Wait. Speaking of Kinich...
Oh yeah, good question. We can get him to come, but if he catches you two fighting again, he won't be happy. He'll be sure...
Oh, we can't let that happen. I've never even spoken to him before. I can't...
We didn't mean to argue with Toba. All he said was that the Mountain King has done some pretty bad things. He was the one who turned it into a... Yeah, if you weren't friends, there's no way Toba would have come to look for the baby Saurian. All right. Well, because it's the Traveler and Paimon and Kinich, I'm sorry, Toba. I'm sorry. Dad just really misses Nana. And I was really upset that she's gone.
Huh? Oh. I shouldn't have spoken to you the way I did either. It wasn't very nice of me.
That's more like it. Now you're best friends again. Guess so. Toba, if I ever say something mean about the
Quand même
Mountain
une jeune maman hein, quand
I'll
même.
make
Hein.
sure I say it to someone
Paimon.
else, and not you. I'd better go buy some
Elle aime bien
clothes too,
enguirlander.
Toba. See you travel.
Mais pour la bonne cause.
Okay. I'll head home as well then.
Okay, take care, you two.
Oh.
Even though they said they're sorry, it looks like their friendship isn't as strong. Let's just hope we can... Come on, let's move on.
Ah bah ça, les diverses opinions, ça peut malheureusement briser moult amitié.
What's going on over there? Let's take a look.
Question.
Hey there, what's happening here?
A rehearsal for the Turnfire Night dance.
Oh, there's a dance involved? Paimon wants to learn too.
You don't know it? Ah, I guess you're not from these parts, huh? It's rare to see a new face around the tribe these days. I thought everyone would be keeping away.
Why do you say that?
Because of the Turnfire night, of course. The Mountain King could wake up at any time. That's why we're holding an emergency ceremony. This isn't one of those fun and games festivals. For outsiders, it might even be a little dangerous.
Well, did you know that the flame bearer this time is actually gonna be an outsider?
Oh, I did hear about that. It's a first for sure. I would have loved to meet them in person. What? Oh, it's funny. I was just thinking that I'll probably miss out on meeting the new flame bearer since I'm not taking part this time around. Then suddenly, there you are. Must be my lucky day.
You're not taking part in the Turnfire night? How come?
Not bad, right? Yeah, I'm considered one of the better-looking guys who dances beneath the pillars of the sacred flame. Been doing it a few years.
Ça attire toujours un large public féminin. Oh, le charreau, quoi.
Very impressive.
Ici, ça baise.
Well, I feel like the whole Mountain King situation is getting more and more precarious. It's just not safe here anymore. The question is, what are we gonna do about this in the long term? But our leaders don't have any answers for us. They're probably, the way things are going, it's only a matter of time before it gets violent. So I figured...
You look a little disappointed.
Disappointed? Nah. It's a great
Nah.
opportunity to go see the world. As every male scion of the canopy knows. I managed to get in touch with the Saurian Relics Association. They gave me a simple test. Find a decent quality relic, and they'll make me a member.
What's the Saurian Relics Association?
You've never heard of it? It's a group of amateur history enthusiasts who do research on the ancient Saurian era. They're all about... Speaking of which, the guy who was Flamebearer before you, I've heard that his Saurian...
Ah ouais.
How's a relic from an ancient Saurian civilization?
Oh, yeah, him. So then, do you know how they met? It was deep inside some mysterious ruin, and they signed a contract there. The association folks say that the kind of contract usually comes with a huge hidden cost.
Ah donc Ajaw, c'est même pas une créature qui a été construite, c'est juste c'est une relique. C'est littéralement une fucking relique. Ils se sont rencontrés dans des bas-fonds. Ils ont signé un contrat. Ce type de contrat s'accompagne généralement d'un coût caché énorme. C'est-à-dire quoi un coût caché énorme? C'est ça que j'arrive pas à comprendre. Parce que c'est pas la vie, ça serait trop... Je sais pas.
Who knows? But if it's true, Kinich can probably handle it. He knows what he's doing with weighing up contracts and costs and stuff. I doubt he'd make a contract that doesn't benefit. Strangely enough, I actually happened upon a strange mural a while back, and it looked to me like it was depicting a Saurian and a human involved in some kind of Saurian-era contract ritual.
Oh, does that count as a relic then?
You bet it does. I was all ready to go take a picture of it and use that as my entry ticket to the... But after all the abyssal activity recently, I heard that area's been overrun by monsters. Or... You look like you know your way around a fight.
If all you need to get is a picture, that should be pretty achievable, right? The Traveler deals with monsters all the time.
Wait, you're seriously gonna help me out?
Come on, it's no big deal. Compared to some of the things we've been roped into before.
Pyro Archon above. You two have hearts of gold, you know that? You're the kind of people who could dive into the Turnfire deep in the bowels of the Night Kingdom, and it wouldn't burn a single hair off your head. Of course it is. All right, come.
Let's go. Ah, c'est où? Oh, c'est là-haut. Tac. Shockwave.
Onward and upward.
J'ai pas l'impression que tu vas plus rapidement quand même en faisant ça.
Okay.
There it is. It's inside these ruins. As you can see,
Alrighty then. Stay back and take cover, Tiago.
great minds think alike.
Allez, here. Tu vois, je vais même le faire avec Kinich sur des TRP.
Nice and spicy.
Ah.
Locked up.
Mais il va die. Ça se passe mal.
Okay. Target acquired.
Non, non, non. Oh putain. Ah, les flammes, ça rigole pas hein, sur notre lane. Hein. Et ouais, il y a moi la nuit.
That should be the last of them. It's a good thing Tiago. Hey, look! That's gotta be it, right? Definitely looks like a mural.
Ouais, il y a un saurien là. Yumkazor.
True. Now that you mention it, most ancient murals take up a whole huge wall. This looks more like it does match the story he told us, though. There's a Saurian and a human. So, is that supposed to be what an ancient contract ritual looked like?
Ça se voit bien que c'est Yumkazor, mais.
Whatever. We're not here to decipher it. Just photograph it.
Tac.
That's a wrap. Let's take it back to Tiago.
You've been robbed? Oh, Ponche. And I thought my luck was bad.
Oh, I put blood, sweat, and tears into that, and now I've got nothing to show for it.
Tiago, is this the picture you were looking for?
Let me take a look. Yep, that's the one. Hey, Ponche, come and say hi to these guys. They're gonna be the new flip.
Wait, are you the Traveler and Paimon?
Huh? You.
My nephew Toba's been telling everyone about you. He says you're crazy strong,
Oh.
super friendly, that you helped him out, and
Oh, so you're Toba's uncle. Great to meet you, Sip. Sounds like we managed to make a bit of a name for ourselves.
Toba's not wrong, my friend. These two are honestly some of the nicest, most genuine people I've ever met. Everyone speaks incredibly highly of them. Seriously, if you're comfortable.
really? All I want is to get the fruits of my
Allow me to explain. Ponche is a well-known scholar within our tribe, author of the
Ah, le
widely
nez
acclaimed
l'enfer.
book, Yupanqui's Turnfire.
I spent years of my life researching that book. I visited every last ruin, interviewed every descendant of... On the word Malipo alone, I covered at least 5 different interpretations of the meaning based on a...
It was an unparalleled masterpiece.
And now it's all gone. That little goon ambushed me during my morning walk.
That book was everything to him. It's like they robbed him of his soul when they took it.
Dear honored guests of our clan, I am but a helpless old student.
See what I mean, Ponche? Now you've run into...
I don't know if he's still there.
Ah, let's go. Hop. Oh putain. L'autre bout du monde. On va quand même se soigner. Franchement, notre lane, c'est la première fois que j'ai autant utilisé le soin de la statue. Ah, après, de base, j'utilise Furina, donc normal. Là, j'ai vraiment pas de heal. Oh, j'espère qu'elle est pas morte. Hein.
You thieving.
What do you want now, you old bum? God, you're a waste of space. Prepare to get shoved. Oh, what's this? Brought a little butt. Eat dirt, suckers!
Quelle raclure, hein. Putain, elle est vraiment morte, cette idiote.
Stop, please! By all the warriors, heroes, gods, and kings, please! I don't have your stuff anymore.
Oh, yeah? Well, where is it then?
I threw it away!
You threw it away?
The old bum's bag didn't have a single mora in it. Just a tatty old book, worn out pens, and all that time lying in wait was for nothing.
Quelle raclure.
Is that really
The same place you found me. Look, I swear on the Pyro Archon, it's the truth.
Okay, then what do we do now? It sounds like he's telling the truth. Right. Let's hope nobody...
Although the Turnfire is a heroic symbol in Hoytzatlan,
Débarre.
it always comes with the more ominous implication of eventual tragedy. This holds true for all bearers of this ancient name in recorded history. Each one of them died of non-natural causes, as if this appears to suggest the existence of some higher power that is always watching the name-bearer, examining their actions, and eventually demanding payment in return. Not you Ponky's Turnfire. What an incredible work on ancient name philology. Let me see, the author is... Ponche.
Silence, book muncher. The great Kahula will suffer your droning voice no longer.
Do you truly find no joy at all in perusing such rich
Joy? What joy is there in this pointless
Well, it makes a pretty shocking prediction. Every bearer of the ancient name Malipo eventually meets a grisly...
What? You're saying Kinich will die a violent death? So I'll finally get to take over his body? When will that glorious day arrive? The great...
Wow, you are just irredeemable, aren't you? An agent of chaos down to the core.
Silence, maggot! To presume that anyone compares your kind with the great Kahula is sheer vanity!
You don't need to lecture me about doomsday. Here's what I know. All civilizations will be reduced to rubble by the passage of time. From ancient kingdoms to heavenly thrones to worlds beyond. But from the ruins of every civilization, the dust will rise and never settle, thus transcending the confines of time. And you, great Kahul Ajaw, are one such speck of dust from a bygone age. I've paid dearly for the chance to observe you up close. Now, let me take a good look at you. We'll see whether any memory...
Il se fait manipuler. Ah, par contre, si on peut avoir des souvenirs de Ajaw à l'époque, ça peut être bien.
But we couldn't find your manuscript anyway.
Does that mean? Oh,
You gotta stay positive, Ponche. You might have lost the book, but
the whole reason I worked so hard to get it finished before the Turnfire night is because I hoped that maybe it might help us. Well, not exactly, but I thought my research.
Oh, really? So what did
I think the key to all of this lies in the power.
Ponche, you know as well as anyone that ancient names don't hold any real power.
You're right, but Malipo may be a special case. Given that it first arose in the era of the first Pyro Archon, it might contain remnants of Xbalanque's power.
Yeah, I remember that story. My grandpa told it to me when I was a little kid. Maybe you're the special case. Most kids stop believing in that stuff by your age.
I'm not talking about childhood superstitions here. There is
Like what?
like the fact that the Mountain King is still alive. Everyone attributes that to the power. The key factor is that Burkina summoned the power of Malipo. If you don't believe me, then answer me this. How many other creatures can you think of who lived longer, not...
Traveler, different situation but similar idea. Doesn't this remind you of the hilly...
La situation est un peu différente, mais l'idée est la même. Ça te rappelle pas un certain Bruto? De quoi elle parle de Caribert, là?
So, I came to the conclusion that Malipo must refer to some mysterious ritual involving a tit-for-tat exchange. It began with the first Pyro Archon, fell with the Grand Alliance, then was buried in the Night Kingdom. And now, it awaits the call of its new bearer.
Hey. Sorry to interrupt, Panche, but you seem...
I'm sorry. I was originally planning on presenting my findings to Kinich.
Sounds to me like you dreamed up one fanciful theory to support another.
Kinich, what are you doing here?
I more or less finished what I was doing, so I came to have a quick catch-up. Now a good time?
Kinich! I'm onto something. I haven't worked out all the details, but you...
So Mr. Panche here has done a lot of research on the history of the Turnfire.
I'll be there, Panche. Let's go.
Allez, Kinich à l'écart. Quelle jouissance quand même.
Here will do. Yeah. I'd like your help giving it a trial run tomorrow. If that works, we have our plan come.
Sounds like you're not considering Panche's idea.
You heard him. He hasn't worked out the details yet. We need a more practical solution with concrete steps to follow.
Yet. Are you saying you think...
I think it's possible, based on something I know about the war 500 years ago. Burkina didn't fall to the abyss. He was killed by the Mountain King in an episode of madness. In his final moments, Burkina made the fateful decision to not fight back.
Ah merde.
And instead pass his blood and power on to the Mountain King. Maybe he thought the Mountain King was stronger than him and more valuable to the tribe. Or maybe it was just out of loyalty.
Je pense que c'était par simple loyauté.
Either way, I can believe the Turnfire was involved. Whether you think his sacrifice triggered it, or his fate was sealed from the moment he took the Malipo name.
How can you drop these truth bombs with such a straight face?
This is what I've gleaned from my many interactions with the Mountain King. His mind is so the story Elder Trinidad told you was the more palatable version of events. The Mountain King's mind isn't just disordered. He is suffering and feels great shame.
What? Then what should we do?
Of course not. We should help him move to a new home. It's the only practical solution. The Mountain King is a hero to my tribe. An object of worship, even. Ending his life would be like Still, he's been the cause of multiple disasters, and we can't
Practical solutions hurt Paimon's brain. Can we follow our heart?
Then let's break for the day.
Il a pas peur pour Ajaw là, avec l'abîme? Ya. Hein? Ah, et le lendemain. Easy. Kinich. On va bientôt voir le scénario du trailer du coup. Ah, mais il est là.
You're here.
Whoa! So, the gruesome twosome come crawling back. Here to make amends after the gross irreverence you displayed last time? Very well. The almighty dragon lord Kahulahow shall grant you the
Je vais
audience
maintenant me
that
baiser les pieds. Ah putain. C'est vraiment le personnage le plus excentrique et le plus drôle hein, quand même. Oh, qu'est-ce que c'est que cette grimace et ce visage?
Kinich, didn't you say you found him a teacher? He's just as out of control as ever!
Hey! No one gets to discipline the almighty dragon lord.
Maybe because I've never had a gentle-natured companion like Paimon to compare against.
Is that a
Huh.
compliment?
Yeah, I see what I'm missing out on now.
Kinich! Ugh! We could drown this measly flying ant in one shot with a spit! How dare you compare her to the almighty dragon lord?
Cette misérable fourmi volante dans une gouttelette de salive.
Oh, just wait till I possess your dead body! I will commit heinous atrocities, tear down your legacy, destroy your reputation.
Traveler, Paimon, let's get down to business. Once we've opened the beastly rift,
Oh.
you're welcome to toss a how in there for a couple of days.
With pleasure. You don't need to ask twice.
I got my hands on this device in a trade. It's meant as bait, but it'll also stabilize the abyssal energy. The rift towns will tear through space to get to this. Once you'll find out soon enough.
C'est l'invasion.
They'll tear you to pieces given half the chance, so be careful. Target acquired. Okay.
Uh-oh. Are there even bigger
Oula.
ones on the way?
Oh, what?
You see, Kinich? I'm a man of my word. In fact, I'd say I under-promised and
Mais qu'est-ce qu'il
over-delivered.
fout là, lui?
Nifty little gizmo, isn't it?
Anjou! Oh putain! Bon alors là j'ai une description mais j'avais déjà regardé un extrait avec le youtubeur Murder of Birds par rapport à Anjou. Putain!
I take it this is your true form?
Now that our deal is complete, it's time to start the next phase of our relationship. I made a promise to the great Kahulahow.
Quoi?
And now I'm here to seize your body for his use. Cliché, I know. The hero's trusted partner sells him out to the abyss in a shocking act of betrayal.
Angel?
Huh? Huh? What are you two doing here? Oh, Mr. Kinich, this isn't...
Traveler, this is the gift I got you. I know you're looking for intel on the Abyss Order, but it looks like you've already met.
Yikes. Frosty reception. Gotta say, I kinda pictured this moment going a little differently. Tears of joy welling up in your eyes as you say the words.
Don't be ridiculous. Sounds like you've been reading too many...
There we have it. Change is inevitable and nothing lasts forever. What a pity. Well then, time for you to meet the new me.
Sanka!
What does it matter? A name is a superficial label. It's what's deep down inside.
That would explain a lot. Why else would you show up here?
I'll pass. I do rather like you, as I said before. But my one quibble is that you really don't know your
Je vous aime bien, mais comme je l'ai dit, mon seul reproche est que vous ne connaissez vraiment pas votre propre force.
Wait, of course. You're the one behind all the recent abyss activity. Let Paimon guess.
Haven't I told you before? I'm not part of the inner circle who do our highness's bidding. My interests are
Je
far
ne fais pas
more
partie du cercle restreint qui exécute les ordres de son Altesse. Ah, parce qu'elle a un... oui, elle a un cercle restreint, mais est-ce que c'est de réelles entités ou juste eux, là? Genre
I
Anju.
spend my time digging for truth in ancient doodads and books. You really
I investigated him. He's not connected to the recent events. So I struck a deal with him. He helps me summon a rift.
But that's all over. And now Kinich wants to hand me over to you. Well, I was hoping this would be an opportune moment. That would have given me some more time to study the great Kahula How. But now I've run into you, which is just my luck. Or maybe I've incited the wrath of... Wait, does that count?
How? You are the worst of the worst! Colluding with the Abyss Order against Kinich?
There is no betrayal. The almighty Dragon Lord Kahula How is a—
Don't worry, I told him to act as bait.
Yes, and you should have picked a bigger fish. The Abyss Order? Ha! What a joke. Not even a match for our lowly
It looks like your disciplinary measures have been less than effective.
What did you expect? Behavioral rehab isn't really our thing. Otherwise...
The abysmal disorder would suit you better. Kinich! Dispose of him! He is of no
Traveler?
Hey now, I may be a... I could never beat you in a straight-up fight. But when it comes, do me a favor and remember how fast I disappear. Maybe then you'll...
Darn! He got away again!
It's alright. He's not worth our time and energy. Besides, it seems like he's in debt to a lot of people. I'm sure...
If you say so. Still, Paimon's kind...
To borrow that guy's words, names are superficial labels. Whether you call it the Abyss Order or anything else, think of it like apples that have fallen from a tree. If you tasted each one, you'd find that they're all at different stages of... Even the unripe fruit blown off its branch before it's fully grown can still be brewed into a fine wine.
Huh. Well, in that specific sense, maybe Enjo's not so...
Of course! Only the almighty Dragon Lord Kahula How is right.
Ugh.
Il est content.
Who are you anyway? You're definitely the evilest...
Don't worry, he can't hurt a fly. You could say that.
Paimon heard that those kinds of contracts might come with a terrible cost attached. Is that true?
Such as a how watching me like a rat.
Vulture! Vulture! We are the Dragon Supreme! Sovereign!
Let's pick this up another time. It's getting...
Vous imaginez, c'est lui le sage de la flamme exaltée. Qui a été
You should get
réincarné
back and
en
get some
truc.
rest. Big day ahead. Tomorrow's Turnfire night. Time to...
Oh yeah. Hearing you lay it out like that is making Paimon a little nervous. For all the work we've put in, it all comes...
Then it can't hurt to say this one more time. Good luck. See you tomorrow.
Eh bien. Lendemain entre 18 et 20 h. Hop. Putain, je pensais pas que ça aurait été... Ce serait Anju. Hop. J'aurais dû soigner ma moelle à nuit.
Ah, at long last, you're back. I hear you've done much for our people these last few days. Many young people have heard the rumors too. They're all eager to meet our...
Well, they won't have to wait for long. It's almost... We really hope we can resolve the Mountain King situation.
Well, it's nearly time.
Possible de modifier l'équipe pour le rituel de... Oh, c'est bon. Let's go. C'est RP avec Kinich, Molani, Kachina. Donc, Xbalanque, j'aurais dû mettre Ether, mais...
Here we are.
Our honored guests have arrived. I have heard much about your fine work over the past few days.
Don't worry about it. Getting this huge venue ready must have been a huge task.
Oh, if it means getting the Mountain King issue resolved, no cost is too great to bear.
A resolution will come in due course, but every great fire starts as a tiny spark.
No one would disagree with you if that were possible, Chief. But it's been far too long since we've seen a real step forward. Look around you. Can't you see how our numbers have dwindled since the last Turnfire night?
The ceremony was arranged on short notice. Many are away from home and could not make it back in time.
That may be so, but still.
Good evening, Traveler in Paimon.
Kinich! Not a moment too soon.
Chief Wayna, Elder Trinidad, could you give us a minute? I'd like to give the Traveler a few pointers.
Very well, but make it quick.
Let's step to the side. Has anyone gone over the key steps of the ceremony with you yet?
Yeah, Elder Trinidad did, but, Paimon seemed...
What a surprise! The flying ant has an ant-sized brain.
If you don't want your tongue to be burned off by the sacred flame tonight, I suggest you stay quiet.
Oh putain, pour une fois il s'est tué.
Those sacred flame pillars, once you've lit the fire, go light each one up in turn. Once that's done, head down into the cave where the Mountain King slumbers, light the braziers along the way, then bring the flame to the final altar.
That sounds simple enough.
The process isn't complicated, but remember, you mustn't turn back at any point. If you miss a pillar, you can't light the next one, then come back. You have to keep moving forward, or it's seen as disrespecting our ancestors. If that happens, you won't receive the blessing. I made you a diagram that summarizes the steps. Take a look.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So that's our part.
I'll be with you the whole way. And once you've lit the altar, you can leave that side of things to me.
Okay. We'll try to remember all that and get it right.
Ready when you are. But I think I saw Huni and the others just now. Maybe you should say hi before you start. Just tell the chief when you're ready.
How are you doing?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm counting on you. By past fuel and present flame, life, my brothers and sisters, the time has come to light the...
Oh, belles images. Vous pouvez rendre un... Oh, je sens que je vais me chier. Ah oui, d'accord, faut jamais retourner en arrière.
Go get the sacred flame.
Oh, ça... Je pense que ça va être dur. Hein. Bon, au moins, il nous explique un peu comment... Où est-ce qu'il faut aller.
Off to a good start. Great stuff. You're over halfway. Keep it up. Impressive. Just one more to go.
Et cours, Forest.
Come on, one last push. The final sacred flame pillar is up ahead.
Oh, ça va, c'est simple. Heureusement que c'est indiqué. Ah oui, et chaque pilier, il y a 3 personnes qui font la danse. Sauf la principale, il y en a 5.
Great. All the pillars are alight. Next, it's down into the canyon and head for the Mountain King's cave.
Petit gerbotron. Hop. On a utilisé Kinich.
Almost there. The cave is just up ahead. The abyss presence is growing strong. We should deal
Oula.
with the contamination first.
Purifier l'abîme. Ah oui, il a utilisé ça du coup. Ok. Oh, ça va, c'est simple. Oula. Non. Ah, putain, il s'est vraiment noyé. Continuez d'explorer. Il faut aller tout là-haut.
There's the altar of the sacred flame. Remember,
Ah bah merde.
the torches around it first.
Ah oui, putain. Attendez. Tac.
Woohoo! We've lit up the final altar!
Bravo.
That's the Mountain King up ahead, right?
Ah putain, on le voit vraiment. Ouais, le pauvre, on dirait vraiment qu'il souffre quoi.
That's him. Kangamato, king of the Yumkasaurs from 500 years ago. He's very powerful.
Par contre, ça donne vraiment envie de toucher son bide et de dormir dessus. Hein.
Paimon can tell. He is huge. Let's try.
You've made it at last. You did even better than I expected.
Traveler, now comes the final and most important step of the ceremony. Please use the power of the sacred flame.
There's no need this time.
Such strong abyssal power. What is that thing? Kinich, what is the meaning of this?
Ah bah tiens, c'est la voix de...
Is that a beastly rift?
Chief Waina, Elder Trinidad. This is about to get a little dangerous.
What do you think you're doing?
Solving the Mountain King issue.
You mean by having him torn to pieces by rift hounds?
No, stop! We can't let that happen!
Foolish Locust! Can't you see? We're trying to shove your Locust King into the beastly rift!
But
I'm sorry, Chief Waina and Elder Trinidad.
This is the... Can you promise me that no harm will come to the Mountain King?
I can't guarantee it, but I'm fairly confident.
Traveler, this is not what we agreed on. You must cleanse the Mountain King of... Okay, I see what this is. You've been in cahoots this
Me
whole
ferme là. Mais quel con! Mais qu'est-ce qu'il est con!
Ugh, you imbecile! What have you done?
Oh no!
You forced my hand. I had no choice.
Elder Trinidad?
Oh, il est mignon. Hein.
No, the Mountain King is waking up. He will cause even more...
Everyone, out! Now!
Espèce de con. Hein. Wow. Ah oui, il est vénère.
Well, it seems there is only one way to awaken you all from your willful blindness. More sacrifices must be made.
Ça aussi, c'est une phrase du trailer, je crois. Ah ouais.
Take me, oh Mountain King. Take me as your next sacrifice.
Everyone's still outside. We have to keep the Mountain King here. Give me a hand.
Alors avant, on va quand même soigner. Ça doit suffire ça.
Watch out for the fruits he's spitting out. You can use those against him. Yeah, that's it.
Easy. Oh.
What do we do? We can't open the rift!
Ah, il veut sacrifier.
Kill me! Put an end to Whitesetland's shame!
Bon.
By past fuel and present flame, life marches ever on.
Oh, Burkina, I must atone.
Patience. We will answer to the fire for all our deeds.
What?
Even if one day I fall behind, never look back. Keep moving forward, as we are now.
Qui allait cet endroit?
Live with your guilt and shame. This is the price to pay.
Heir to the Turnfire, please use my ruined vessel to train the heroes of the future. The will of Kangamato will march ever on, till the abyss is stamped out.
Des baies. Eh bien,
Traveler, you've come at just the right... Trinidad's condition is stabilized. He suffered burns on much of his body, but we believe he'll...
Guess that's the best news we could hope for. Paimon has to ask, is everyone in your tribe such a risk taker?
We're simply not afraid to charge ahead into the unknown. He's fine. Don't worry. He's He's gone to check on the Mountain King. After the incident yesterday, a transparent shell has formed around the Mountain King's body. We don't understand the mechanism behind it. It is somewhat akin to a scab, in that it stops the abyssal energy within him from bleeding out, while also preventing. We've never seen anything like it. The tribe's most senior elders believe it was caused when he was burned by the sacred flame. I think their theory makes sense. After all, we...
Wow. So it's made of bear.
It's practically a miracle from what we've seen of it so far. It means
Ah bah nice, bah voilà. Qu'on a pas réussi, on l'a pas tué. Et au lieu de le balancer dans la faille, on a trouvé un autre système grâce à Kinich. Non, je pense que c'est vraiment le pouvoir de... Ouais.
I may be the chief of this tribe, but I've only ever known the Turnfire as if anyone can answer it. I suspect it would be the bear.
Ah, so Kinich then. Why don't we go see?
Nice. Ah, c'est mieux ce genre de choses que voir un cadavre du roi de la montagne.
Hey yourself.
Et quand je le vois, je me dis toujours qu'il va nous insulter.
We were gonna ask you the same question. You scared Paimon half to death with.
Sorry, I couldn't just stand and watch the Mountain King get burned alive.
So you thought you'd try and extinguish the sacred flame with Dendro? Or is that an attempt to make the almighty Dragon Lord?
The sacred flame only possesses a fraction of the Pyro Archon's power. It's not as if I was fighting the Pyro Archon herself.
Kinich, when you went into the flames.
Comme c'est une phrase, juste ce feu comme ça, c'est une fraction du pouvoir de Xbalanque. Hein. Donc le vrai, il doit être surpuissant. Enfin, il devait.
Do the same thing as Burkina.
Sacrifice myself? Of course not. My focus was on keeping the Mountain King alive, not on what it would cost. But now I'm curious. What made you think I was going?
Well, because everyone's saying the Turnfire is what saved the Kingland. And Ponche's theory was that summoning the Turnfire is a tit-for-tat exchange, right? So, Paimon thought you decided to pay for it with your life.
So you've heard that rumor too. I'm afraid I can't say for sure. What happened yesterday was...
Well, even if you don't know, there's probably...
What I would say is, if that really was the power of the Turnfire, I'd sooner believe that...
The Mountain King?
The core meaning of price is not atonement or compensation, but what you're willing to give up in order... It's easy to die for your sins. Much harder to live with the guilt and keep on going. In the end, the
Alright, so...
Health-wise, there's nothing to worry about. He'll enter a fighting stance whenever we set foot in his territory. But his attacks are gentler now and not as crazed as before. Like he said yesterday, he just intends to be a sparring partner for people to practice with. Yeah, I tried communicating with him again, but he didn't respond.
Oh, ça doit être juste une coquille vide, simplement pour s'entraîner, je pense.
The lights are on, but nobody is home. Its body remains fighting fit thanks to the perverse power of the abyss, but time has been less kind to its...
But we saw him
That was merely one last burst of brain activity before it croaked. As you humans would say, it went out...
Oh, come on! Stop being such a doomer. Paimon bets the mount. That's why he doesn't have time to chat with us. He's...
Well, at least it means my fellow tribes...
Yeah, that's right.
But he ended up being completely useless. It's not a fair trade if...
That's on him. It's not your fault he's useless. Besides, we're friends now.
Friends? But your friendship is an even more valuable gift. I can't in good conscience accept it for free.
Moi j'aime beaucoup moi Kinich. Hein.
So, promise me, if you need anything in the future, you'll come to me. For you, I'll do anything.
Et la chronique de Kinich terminée. Oh, ça dure une heure et quelques les... Ah, non.
So, in the end, only poor little Hoonie got the sad end.
Yeah, everyone's happy except me. First Nana, then Hoonie. It'll be okay. Toba, you're my friend, so I shouldn't.
Encore.
Now hold your horses, kiddo. If you promise not to fight, Okay, before you roll your eyes out of your skull, I promise you can trust me. I almost got my eyebrows burned off by the turnfire after... All right, we'll just get to the point. Do you...
What?
Your extreme sport.
Huh?
On my first day here, I got hit by someone falling out of the... It's a dangerous sport, to be sure, but the courage it took to make the jump impressed the heck out of me. So...
Oh, such a nice friend.
Of course. Anyway, the good times didn't last, because I got captured by a powerful foe. In the hands of the enemy, I was scorned, scolded, and nearly given away as a... Why does Uncle Sanka always have to suffer, I thought. So, but in the end, I made it through, and I left all of those painful memories in the past.
The moral of the story is to look forward in life, right?
Very smart, Hoonie. But what I'm trying to tell you is that after I reunited with my friend, I found her injuries were all healed, but she's right behind you. Turn around and see.
Ah merde, j'ai une livraison.
Trick about not
Chier.
turning back? I'm not falling for that one again. Huh?
Bébé. Ah, c'était cool. Hein. Pierre angulaire des étoiles et des flammes. Ça, je sais pas du tout si ça sert à quoi. Et j'essaie de regarder, mais à chaque fois, je trouve toujours rien. Ah, ça va être un bon souvenir, ça. La voix du minime nos feux. C'est une quête. Du coup, ça, je pense que comme beaucoup, on pense que c'est l'équipement qui permet d'augmenter l'aide, enfin la constellation quand on aura notre voyageur en pyro. Donc je pense que le pyro va peut-être arriver en 5.1, vu qu'on portera un ancien nom. Et ça reste à voir. Et il n'y a toujours pas le truc. Ok, cool. Ah, franchement, j'ai bien aimé. Hein. Là, quand même, le Mnemnofeu, ça représente même pas 1% du pouvoir qu'avait Xbalanque. Ça en dit tellement sur la puissance du mec. Oui, ce utilise son ulti juste pour juste pour miner. Mais j'ai pas Zongli, donc du coup... Le mec n'est jamais revenu depuis. Hein. Peut-être que je l'ai raté une fois. Le coup dur. Ils ont déjà respawn. En tout cas, c'est vraiment cool. Bon, du coup, là, j'ai une commande. Je dois faire quelques trucs. Mais 100%, je reviendrai d'ici 2-3 heures max pour faire du Honkai Star Rail comme je l'avais promis. Donc là, on a fait celle de Kinich et je suis très content, de très belles photos qu'on a pu prendre. L'histoire est vraiment admirable. En plus, le pouvoir qu'il ne connaissait même pas, Kinich, fait qu'il... Ah, il ne connaissait pas ce pouvoir et pourtant c'est comment dire, c'est l'un des 6 guerriers. Donc ça en dit long un peu sur la puissance et... Est-ce qu'ils peuvent tout savoir? En tout cas, je vous fais des bisous, merci de regarder ce stream. Et puis normalement, je vous dis à dans 2-3 heures. Ciao ciao.